Hey guys, Virginia here, Makerspace Coordinator and Chief Imaginator Extraordinaire. I would like to welcome you to the COLAB, the Central Ontario Laboratory, where we use ideation, research, entrepreneurship, and social innovation to fuel your amazing ideas and create lasting change. We are here to educate, inspire, and activate. Prepare to educate yourself with seasoned mentors, be inspired by compelling voices, and activate your plan for success. Welcome to the COLAB. Hey guys, I'm Virginia, this is the hair that lives on top, and today we have a very special guest.
That's right, and I'm Jamie Dorn. I'm Executive Director of Research Innovation at Georgian College. So our very special guest, that is Scott Higgens. He is the co-founder of HeyLocal, a company that's trying to disrupt some of those big online stores, and we're here today to learn all about that. So Scott, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. This is Virginia. I think I should say this is the guy without the hair on top.
I like it.
So let's dive right in. Virginia, you got a question for Scott?
I do have a question for Scott. So Jamie just mentioned a little bit of disruption there. So what is HeyLocal actually trying to do?
Yeah, so we founded HeyLocal at the start of COVID, just seeing the acceleration it was going to do to our cities in the move to online commerce and the real problems that was creating. So, I mean, my pointed question is, HeyLocal is going to save our cities from the big e-commerce giants that just want to turn us in to the exact same thing as the city down the road. And HeyLocal is going to make sure that our small businesses and our entrepreneurs have just as much of a chance to compete against that than fall victim to it.
So how does that work then?
Yeah, so we looked at HeyLocal being a discovery platform initially. So the big thing we found, and I'll tell you how we started this, is I run a real estate development company, and we focus a lot on city building. Right. We think that cities are all unique and that you have to give back to the ecosystem more than you take from it. So we've been doing a lot of work on how we support entrepreneurs, how we support social enterprise, how we support.
That's amazing.
Things like that. And when COVID came along, I thought, geez, how can our organization, I mean, real estate stayed pretty unscathed through this. So there's lots of businesses that got absolutely hammered, but we were not one of them. And so we rallied our team together and said, how do we affect some positive change? And really where it came from is one night I'm sitting in bed on the lockdown and I needed new bed sheets and I didn't know where to get bed sheets. Like, I'm not joking. That's what it was. And I bought bed sheets on Amazon and I just got pissed off with myself. I did that because it needed to be a small business or a local business that I was putting my money into right now. But I just couldn't find them easily. And so I called our marketing company, and we do a lot of big marketing stuff, and they have a tech piece to them. And I said, look, I want to build a local Amazon. And I didn't know exactly what I wanted to build. But the idea was I need to make a convenience platform. These businesses need our help, but they already have the products here. They already have the logistics of going curbside or delivery. I don't have to solve all the big problems that Amazon solved, but I have to get the consumer's attention, and I have to build a convenience platform that you can search for a sweater for mom or a new pair of sneakers for yourself. And that was sort of the crossover between a Google search engine and an Amazon marketplace. And then I'm excited to share a little bit more about how it works.
How do companies actually get their products up there?
So the platform is you go to heylocal.ca. It's free. So we made this free. It's a quick sign up. If you got a Shopify backend, it's a 2-second app download and bang, you're on.
Awesome.
And if you don't have a Shopify backend, there's an onboarding process that takes maybe 15 minutes for a business. And they can get their products up. They can get their services up. They can just throw a beer tour and get that up. We've really set it up to be the best of all worlds, right?
That's something that I found very interesting, that you were actually able to involve tourism into this as well. So you work with, I guess, the partners that you've worked with, City of Barrie, Chamber of Commerce, the Downtown BIA, the HBEC Us, and the Sandbox Center. So you worked with all of us, and you also managed to get Tourism Barrie in there. That's fantastic.
You know, the reason I'm so excited about Barrie is we've been to a lot of cities. So we do a lot of outreach with BIAs and chambers and centers of entrepreneurship and small business centers. Barrie was the first time where everybody like came together really, really quickly. And it jams me up. You can see the community vibe. We've got some real estate plans in Barrie, but the whole community just came together and got it right away and said, how do we help? So we won the Accelerate Challenge. You know, we started to work with Sarah and the team in the Entrepreneurship Center. Then Kathleen from Barrie Tourism, jumped on board as one of our biggest advocates. She's been great. The mayor's been pushing it out, BIA and Chamber. But that's what it takes, because I'll tell you, the small businesses, we learned when we tried to do spring onboarding the first time, like, people are tired. They've gone through a lot. Their businesses are struggling. Any incremental piece of work feels exhausting.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. I think when Barrie started to do the COVID recovery action plan, and one of the things they noticed was that about 70% of our small businesses in the community had almost no online presence.
Yeah, and we found the same thing when we went out and tried to do direct business onboarding. It was a challenge. And then we did a bit of an AI tool that could find your website and load it up for you. And then you could go in and just claim it and manage it to make it really easy. So we still do that. But when we did that research, we found, to your point, probably about 60-70% of the small and medium-sized businesses didn't have e-commerce.
I have a very important question.
Go for it.
World domination. So, like, what are your plans for some kind of, like, national expansion where you can, like, help more than just our small cities, but also get into those big ones too?
I'm an anti-world domination, but I don't think you get to not play that game, right? So, HeyLocal to me is trying to build a national army to actually do a retail revolution 3.0. Like, if big box stores was one, and now e-commerce is two. We need the retail revolution 3.0 to say, okay, online is not going away, but we better get back to small and medium-sized businesses instead of big conglomerates that gobble up everybody. So I'm in for world domination, but again, with social capitalism in mind, so that it's the people that dominate the world, not businesses that dominate the world.
Sure. Well, you said something earlier, relates to my question, was you said something about maintaining the culture or the flavor of all those businesses. So how does that work through HeyLocal?
Yeah, so HeyLocal is a discovery platform, we like to call it. You go on, it's heylocal.ca, and just search for something. You pick your city and you search for something. And we're going to continue to make the search richer. Right now, it works pretty well. What then happens is it'll display a bunch of products or services with photos, with soon to be ratings and descriptions and pricing and things. You can make a common basket of goods, so you can load up your HeyLocal cart. But when you move to checkout, we down push you to those stores. And that's one inconvenience for a consumer online, but it's an important inconvenience because it introduces you to the entrepreneur and the small business.
Right.
And they have their own brand and their own vibe and other products. And so by doing that, you take one extra step. We've made it easy for you to find them, to search for products, to search for things, to load it up. But when you want to go check out, we want you to get into their store because we want you to see how they present themselves, what other products and services they have, where they're located, and where you can maybe go in and pick up your stuff instead of having it delivered at home when they need. So it's really important because I think what these marketplaces often do is present a veneer where then it's blind to the businesses behind. I don't know the businesses that are on Amazon because I don't know the businesses that are on Amazon. Good stuff as we can.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing from all of this stuff is that you believe in community first. And I can see how important that is to you. So working with the Barrie community must have been fun because we're one of those communities who really connects with each other as opposed to like having separate siloed areas.
Yeah, you're the poster child right now across Canada. And I'm not joking. That's not because I'm on your show. Like, there's a vibe, honestly, probably from winning Accelerate and trying to implement HeyLocal to where we are today. I mean, maybe 2 months max, but all of the community came together and just said, we get it. How do we help? And it's so refreshing. In bigger cities, you get that in neighborhoods, maybe. Barrie, to us, if I'm on the phone with, I'll use Kelowna again, but if I'm on the phone with Kelowna and they're asking, okay, how do we go about helping you out and doing this? I just give them the Barrie example because that was six or
Love
seven different bits.
Yes. So what you're saying to me is that if I was a small business, all I would truly need to come and actually work with HeyLocal is to have an e-commerce platform.
Yeah, even at that, if you're just doing Instagram, we've built it where it can point to an Instagram. If you're doing events just on Eventbrite and you don't have a website,
Yeah.
we can point you there. So we're not restricted to having to have a big e-commerce solution to find you. You could be as simple as I'm making stuff and selling them on Instagram, and you can figure out how that still gets on the site and still pushes down through your Instagram for checkout. So we kind of took the approach that whether you're really, really small or medium or even a little bit bigger, you don't have to have this beefy e-commerce solution to be on the platform. And again, we made the platform free. So the other easy part is like, why not, right? The platform's free. It's trying to help.
Wild. So can I ask you then, how does HeyLocal make money?
Yeah, well, right now we don't, but it's more important to the principles of HeyLocal to fix the mess than it is to make a lot of money.
Cool. It's a really great story. This is such a needed service out there.
Yeah, well, tell your friends, because building a consumer awareness marketplace is not an easy task.
Well, Scott, I have loved having you on the show today. Your sense of community and really wanting to bring it together has been absolutely wonderful, because in the collaboratory, we actually put together the research department, the entrepreneurship department, and our social innovation department together as a group so we can build that community. And I think it's really important.
Yeah, I'll just echo Virginia's comments here. I'm really glad to hear about the community aspect. A lot of the conversations that Virginia and I have on this show are about unlocking people's potential and helping them take the first steps. Because as you know, when you're an innovator, you got lots of great ideas, but actually taking the first steps and making something happen is really hard.
It all starts, like you said, with a group of people in a community doing something weird and wonderful, right? So.
That's awesome. I love that. Doing something weird and wonderful. So that being said, we are actually going to make sure that everybody is going to like and subscribe to our page. And ask you, Scott, do you have a last final word that you would like to put in?
I think the final word, to me, it's we're all in this together is a bit overused, but it's so dead on. We are, and our businesses need our help, and we have to shop with convenience. I'm not saying we don't, but we have to shop with conscience as well. And it's important that we combine those two things to support our businesses. So whether it's through heylocal.ca or whether it's just walking into the shop.
Awesome.
Excellent final message.
Thank you so much, Scott.
So thanks everybody for watching the show today. If you have any comments that you'd like to tell us about, please put them in the comments section. Write to us, like and subscribe to the channel, share it with all your friends, and we'll get the word out about all this awesome stuff.
Yes. All right. Bye, guys.